Hi Virgo, here is your ex-partner reading for the month of June 2017. I've done the 2-row spread like I always do. This will be for you and this is for your ex-partner. And like I always tell you, the messages can go vice versa, so apply them to your particular situation. Also, please keep in mind this is a general reading. It's not going to resonate with everybody. Now, the card we have at the bottom of the deck is the 3 of Swords. It's in its reverse position, which is slightly better, okay? Yes, the 3 of Swords can talk about how there's been sadness here. There's been heartbreak. There's been loss felt. In its reverse position, it can very much talk about the need for you maybe to release any pain that you felt. Maybe there needs to be an element of forgiveness, no matter how hard or difficult that may be. There can also be an element of regret attached with that 3 of Swords. Yes, the 3 of Swords can also talk about how there may have been a third-party situation or a third-party involvement somewhere here. That's not going to be for all of you, okay? If that's not the case, then like I said, it's talking about recovery. Starting to go through the healing process. Now, up here for you, we do have the King of Swords in the reverse position. Now, the King of Swords can be air energy, Aquarius, Libra and Gemini. Some of you may have been in a relationship with one of those signs, Sun, Moon or Rising. If that's not the case, then it could be talking either about the other person's energy or your own. I don't like the King of Swords in the reverse position. It talks about somebody that is maybe being quite cruel, is being cunning and devious. It can talk about somebody that has no real interest in the other person, that they're very much only thinking about themselves, maybe very prone to being narcissistic. And it can also talk about nasty arguments, somebody that is being very judgmental, very critical. Now, as I said, just because it's on your side, it doesn't have to mean that it's you behaving in that way. It could very well be talking about how this is how your ex-partner is behaving. Now, they have up here the 9 of Cups. Again, it's in its reverse position. The 9 of Cups can talk about a lack of wish fulfillment here. It can also talk about how maybe the expectations they had in this relationship or in regards to you were unrealistic. It can as well talk about how they may have thought that certain promises had been made here by you, but they may feel those promises have been broken. For some, and this is very small amount of people, I think, when it's in the reverse position, it can talk about somebody that is gloating. That maybe for some reason your ex-partner is gloating maybe because they see how you are feeling. And maybe that's why that King of Swords energy is there. Because, like I said, that King of Swords energy can talk about somebody that's very cruel. So maybe for some there is an element of gloatedness coming from the direction of your ex-partner. Now here for you, we do have the 10 of Wands. It is in its reverse position, which I prefer to see, because it talks about having carried a burden. But being able to let go of that burden now. It could be, for some of you, what's come to my mind, is that for some of you, by letting go of the burden, you actually give your ex-partner a piece of your mind. I don't know why that's come into my head, but it has. That maybe the only way you can release this burden is to tell them what you actually think of them and what you think about the way they have behaved or treated you or what they've done, especially if this is a third-party situation here. Now, on their side, they've got the 9 of Wands. And this talks about somebody that has been through some challenges here. There's been conflict within this relationship when you were together. And it talks about somebody that is still feeling as though they need to protect themselves. They need to be on their guard here. That that maybe on some level they are expecting there to be more, they're expecting more conflict here. It can also talk about two people that, and this may again only be for some of you, but it can talk about two people that come back together and end up hurting each other again. And then you part. And then you come back together, and it's this vicious circle of reconciling and then ending up back in the same situation again. But if not, it's talking about your ex-partner being on guard here. Maybe if you are going to drop that burden, like I said, and give them a piece of your mind, maybe they are expecting that. Now, down here for you, we do have the Tower card. It is number 16 in the Major Arcana, and it's in its reverse position. The thing with the Tower card, when it's in its reverse position, the message can be very much the same, really. It talks still about the breaking down of something. But the difference in the reverse position is that you kind of see it coming. It talks about change and knowing that that change is coming, but maybe on some level resisting that change. It's kind of that feeling of knowing that something major is going to happen and something major is needed here. But it can as well talk about how any dreams that you have had or have in regards to this situation being reconciled is now starting to crumble and break down into pieces. And for some of you, you may have thought that if you changed or if the other person changed, that there could be a reconciliation here. But coming to the realization that that is not possible. That that dream, as I said, breaks down into pieces. Especially if you have been in a situation where you've come back together and parted. See, this King of Swords can also talk about nasty arguments, like I said. And for some of you, it could be that you've come back together. Maybe you've made promises. Maybe your ex-partner has. And those promises end up getting broken with this Nine of Cups. And it just results in more arguments between you both. Now, on your ex-partner's side, they do have here the Eight of Swords. Now, there is some emotion attached here. As you can see, there is some water there. But what the Eight of Swords can talk about is it can very much talk about somebody that is keeping themselves in a situation, possibly out of fear. See, the lady in that card is blindfolded and she's bound. And she's keeping herself in that position because she's either not wanting to face the reality of something, or she's fearful that if she takes the blindfold off, she may not like what she sees. There's either something holding your ex-partner back here. It can as well be about a fear of being hurt. That maybe this time round they don't want to end up back in this situation again, because they know that when they reconcile and come back again, they end up going through, or you both end up going through more conflict, where they then feel very much on their guard. Now, for your outcome, we do have the Wheel of Fortune. It is number 10 in the Major Arcana, and it's in its reverse position. And it's a very karmic energy, the Wheel. It talks very much about things not going the way we want them to go, or it feels like things are not going in our favour. And it can also talk about a negative situation here that you have no control over. Because like I said, it's very much destiny. It's how things are meant to be at the moment. In everybody's life, the wheel either turns in our favour or it turns against us, and we can't control that. And it's about, I guess, maybe an acceptance here that if your dreams have crashed into pieces here, It's about realizing that you can no longer control this. Now, to clarify that card for you, I got the Strength card. It is number 8 in the Major Arcana. And the Strength card, it talks more about the inner strength here. And the Strength card in the Major Arcana, it can talk about struggle. It can talk very much about an inner conflict here. It talks about, in this situation, you needing to find that inner strength now to get through this situation, to be able to deal with this. Now, on your ex-partner's side, we've got the Fool card. It's the very first card in the Major Arcana. And it talks very much about new beginnings. But taking a risk. See, with every new beginning, there is a risk involved. There's red flags here. There's a dog here warning this man that one more step and he's going to go over this cliff. But he's not paying attention here. He's choosing not to. All he knows is that he needs to go down this new path. He needs to go in a new direction. And he doesn't know where it's going to take him. And yes, there are risks involved. But whenever we go in a new direction, there's always a risk involved. It talks about a new beginning that can bring excitement and rejuvenation. But the need to look before you leap. Now, to clarify that card, I got the Ace of Swords. The aces again talk about new beginnings. But the swords is very much to do with our thoughts, our thinking, our communication. The Ace of Swords, when it's in its upright position, it's about a fog clearing. It's that breakthrough, aha type of moment. It can talk about your ex-partner gaining clarity, getting a better understanding, having the fog cleared. It can also talk about a new beginning in terms of communication. The thing is, for a very small few of you, the ex-partner taking that risk, that new beginning, could be in regards to wanting to reconcile, wanting to try again in this relationship. maybe if the blindfold does come off, they do then decide that they wish to try again. But for a group of others, I think it's more talking about them deciding to take this new beginning in a new direction. Maybe they have been in and out, coming back, going, coming back, going. Because that eight of swords can also talk about staying in a relationship for the sake of it. Because it may have felt safe. That maybe the unknown feels more scary than staying in the relationship. But then they take the blindfold off and they actually see, they actually get a better understanding. They actually gain more clarity here. And realize that they can take a step in a new direction. I feel for the majority of you that this has been an ongoing situation here. That I think you come back together and then it goes wrong. And then you break up and then you come back and the same thing happens all over again. Okay, Virgo, that does conclude this reading. Please remember it is for Sun, Moon and Rising. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye.